this glute day with some hip thrusts. This is one of the best exercises to isolate your glutes. I definitely recommend starting with this exercise so you can go heavy on it. Push through your heels. Keep your knees at a 90-degree angle. Try to keep your glutes engaged and your core engaged through the whole movement. You really don't want your back to be arching at all in this. And then also keep your chin tucked through the whole exercise if you can. So right here, I'm about to finish out my set. I like to hold the weight in a bridge for about 30 seconds to 1 minute, and this really helps burn out the exercise. Next, we're going to do some hip abductors. I do about 4 sets of 20-ish of these. I usually just try to burn out the muscle and go till failure on these. They're really great at working your gluteus minimus and medius. Jumping into some Romanian deadlifts now. A couple form tips here. Make sure that you keep your glutes engaged through the whole movement. You don't want to be arching your back again. Keep a neutral spine. Also, keep that bar really close to your legs and just have it follow along down your shins. Now I'm switching over to some one-legged Romanian deadlifts. This is a very similar movement. You're basically just doing the RDL on one leg, and then I use the back leg just for stability and balance. So it's kind of tricky to get your form right on this. Try to go light in weight while you practice the form. And then I'm going to show you my foot placement in just a minute. So here you can see I'm just using that back leg for stability and balance, and then all of the weight is being pushed through that front leg. For the next day in this week of workouts, we are going to do back and shoulders. I like to alternate upper body days and leg days. That way I can do a leg day every other day. Since this is a glute-focused week of workouts, that is just the split that works best for me. I'm starting out this workout with some lateral raises. I'm just doing a pretty lightweight just to get warmed up. Next, we're going into bent over rows with the barbell. These are really good at working your shoulders and your back, so I love throwing them in there. I go pretty light with it. You want your feet to be shoulder width apart on this. Try to pull the weight up while squeezing your shoulder blades and keeping your elbows tucked as close to your body as possible. I always throw in some bicep curls on my upper body days. Just make sure to keep your elbows close to your body on this one. I've been incorporating these a lot more, and I've actually seen a pretty big difference. Next, I'm doing a shoulder press exercise using these dumbbells. I do about 4 sets, and usually I just go till failure, which is usually about 15 to 20 reps. By set 3 or 4, I need to go down in weight, so I went from 15 to 10 pounds. Here I'm doing some tricep pull downs with the cable machine. Again, make sure to keep your elbows tucked on this exercise. And again, I'm doing 4 sets like I usually do. Moving on to my favorite exercise, we're doing some shoulder pull downs. I find that using this hand grip connector on the cable machine rather than the bar isolates my shoulders a lot more, and I feel it in my back really good as well. So check out and see if your gym has this connecting device. Again, I'm doing about 4 sets. Now we're doing seated cable rows, another one of my favorite back exercises. Make sure to keep your elbows close to your body here and push through your shoulder blades, pulling back. So I'm just finishing up the workout with a little bit of core work, and then I'm going to go ahead and leave the gym and call it a day. So yesterday was my rest day, but today I'm going to go ahead and hit legs again. This exercise is going to be quad focused, whereas all of my other leg days are usually glute and hamstring focused. I warmed up on the Stairmaster, and now the first exercise I'm going to get into is just some front squats. Just something to note about this quad workout is you want to have your feet a little bit closer together and definitely have the weight in front of you versus behind on your back, because this is going to isolate your quads much more. I'm moving on to leg extensions now. I like to do a drop set with these, starting with a high weight, and then as it gets difficult, I progressively lower the weight in each set. I absolutely do not skip calves, so I love using this calf machine here. I don't really count reps on this, I just go until it burns and then keep going a little bit just to progressive overload. I'm finishing up this quad day with the hack squat. I like to face the opposite way on the machine in order to isolate my quads the most. These have been super great at working my quads, so I've been including them in every quad day. So it is the next day, and we're going to do another glute day. I'm going to start off with warming up. I just do some dynamic stretches to get my glutes engaged, and then we're going to start the workout out with some hip thrusts again. The benches at this gym are super tall, and I would actually recommend doing this on a little bit of a shorter bench. But this is all that we had at this gym, so that's what I stuck with. So I did 4 sets of around 20, and then in the end of the workout, I'm going to go ahead and finish off my hip thrusts on the Smith machine, just because it makes it a little bit easier if your bench is too tall for you. Now we're going to do some Romanian deadlifts. I went pretty light on these ones, really focused on form, and I kept it also pretty slow. So if you can see, the speed of my rep is pretty slow. I just take my time and just ensure that my form is really good. That way I don't hurt my lower back. Next up, I'm doing back extension. This is a great exercise to isolate your glute muscles and practice mind-to-muscle connection. Try to arch over the top of your back in order to prevent using your lower back. You want to think about squeezing your glutes in order to lift up your upper body weight. Here I'm doing some glute kickbacks on the machine. This is a super great exercise to work your glutes. I highly recommend it. Try to push back with your heel in order to use your glute muscles. I use glute kickbacks as a burnout. It is an accessory movement, so you want to throw it in there at the end. I'm just going back and I'm doing a heavier hip thrust on the Smith machine. Since, like I said, this gym has really tall benches, I have to do a heavy hip thrust on the Smith machine rather than without the Smith machine, because that helps me get that weight up to a good height for me at the beginning there. So here I'm just burning out with the highest weight I wanted to do this day, and then that is the end of that workout. And then I went ahead and had a protein shake and creatine. I take 5 grams of creatine every day. And that is it for this leg day. Moving on to another upper body day. I did a lot of back exercises this day again, and I did a few of the same back exercises as the previous one, but we did switch it up and add a few new exercises today. I started off with cable rows, and I did a drop set, meaning I did my maximum weight initially, and then slowly went down in weight as it progressively got harder. And then I repeated this, and I did 4 sets. Next up, I am doing chest press. I usually go pretty light on this machine, but I definitely go till failure on it, and I'm trying to work my strength up on this machine. I haven't been doing it for very long. And then next, we're going to do cable pull downs, since these are one of my favorites. Alright, so I just did bicep curls again, and I did that on the cable machine this time. And then here I'm going ahead and doing some knee ups on this ab machine. I've been loving doing abs standing up or on any machines. I noticed that when I lay down and do abs, I just get sleepy, so I've been trying to find any kind of exercise where I can work abs or core when I'm standing up. And then we finished up this upper body day doing some assisted pull-ups. I've been trying to do assisted pull-ups every time I've been doing upper body, just so that I can work my way up with them. I'm certainly nowhere close to actually doing a pull-up without the machine, but I definitely love to throw it in there. So we're getting to our last day in the week of workouts. We're going to go ahead and do another glute day, since this is a glute focused workout split. I'm just warming up here, and we're going to start with some hip thrusts. This day I was feeling pretty weak, honestly. I couldn't go that heavy on hip thrusts, and I'm not sure if it was how I was feeling or if it was the setup I had, but I just had to go a bit lighter on this day, which is okay. The next exercise we're doing in this glute day is back extension. But this machine is a kind of a cool variation. I think that this specific machine works your glutes and hamstrings a little bit better than the typical back extension. You're a little bit more horizontal, and I think that helps isolate your glutes a little bit more. So I'm just doing 4 sets. I started out with body weight and just going till failure. And I love this exercise because you can just really focus on muscle isolation and mind to muscle connection during it. Also, a quick tip on it is arching your back over, as you can see in this video here, just to isolate your glutes from your lower back a little bit. I'm finishing out this workout with glute kickbacks on the machine. It's a really great machine. It's super convenient versus doing cable kickbacks. And I love this as a burnout if you want to do it as the last exercise in the glute workout. It works great that way. Just make sure that you do your compound movements prior to doing your accessory movements like this on any glute day. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching everything as much as I enjoyed making it. Make sure to subscribe if you'd like to see more content.